11 etiquette hacks only elite men use to level up. High-class men don't just have better taste, they have better behavior placement. You dress sharp, but still slouch like your confidence is rented. Probably you're stuck thinking confidence is volume. It's not. It's precision. From how you excuse yourself at dinner to how you adjust your cufflinks. And once you master this, you'll realize silence, posture, and timing are louder than any outfit. These 11 etiquette hacks are the final 5% that 99% of men never master. Welcome to GQ Vibes, your go-to channel for real, relatable advice. This is where high-value men show up every day to elevate their style, boost their confidence, and navigate the complexities of modern manhood with purpose and class. Number 1. They always let others speak first, especially in unfamiliar spaces. Most grown men feel the urge to establish their place in the room by being the first to speak. They jump into conversations too quickly, trying to sound important before even understanding the rhythm of the room. That instinct? It often backfires. It feels rushed, insecure, even a little desperate. What to do instead? Let others speak first. Not because you don't have something to say, but because you're smart enough to listen first. In unfamiliar settings, the man who speaks last often ends up being heard the most. He's the one who listens, observes, and then responds with precision, not performance. It shows calm control, not anxious need. And here's the hidden advantage. While others reveal their hand, you're gathering context. You're reading tone, watching alliances, and spotting the dynamics most men miss. This isn't silence, this is positioning. You're building authority before you open your mouth. Those who need to talk first rarely have the most to say. Those who wait win respect before they even speak. Number 2, they control tone, not just words. Voice modulation is power. Most men believe that to be heard, they have to be loud. But in reality, the louder you are, the less people listen. Shouting feels like desperation, like you're trying to prove power instead of just having it. What to do instead? Master vocal modulation. Lower your tone, slow your delivery. Use strategic pauses. These subtle shifts create natural gravity around your words. A calm, deliberate voice commands attention without demanding it. In high-stakes situations, it disarms resistance and instantly shifts perception. It's how great negotiators win. It's how high-level men influence rooms without ever raising their voice. And in heated moments, it's the difference between escalation and control. Think of your voice like a dimmer switch, not a power button. Modulation builds trust. Loudness builds tension. The man who can control his voice can control a room. And when your voice reflects composure, people assume your whole life does too. Number 3, they never touch their phone when someone is speaking. You've seen it. Someone nodding while staring at their phone, scrolling through nothing, pretending to be present. It's not harmless. It's a silent signal that says, you're not worth my full attention. Most men think they're multitasking, but really, they're missing the entire point of being in the room. What to do instead? Put the phone down. Make eye contact. Be fully there, even if the conversation is short. It shows more than good manners. It shows restraint, discipline, and awareness. In a world where everyone's distracted, presence is rare, and rare is valuable. People remember how you made them feel, and feeling genuinely seen is unforgettable. Here's the kicker. Being present also sharpens your instincts. You catch subtle cues, read facial expressions, and respond smarter. Elite men don't just look the part. They're mentally locked in. They aren't half listening, half scrolling. They're fully engaged. And when you treat people like they matter, the entire energy shifts in your favor. Number 4, they know when to toast and when to stay silent. Most men raise their glass because it feels like the social thing to do, like every group setting needs a voiceover. But too often, it turns into a ramble, a half-hearted cliche, or worse, a moment that draws attention but adds no value. What to do instead? Toast only when it means something. A short, meaningful sentence delivered at the right moment carries more weight than a long speech ever could. It doesn't need to be clever or poetic, just sincere. Here's what separates elite men. They don't speak to be seen, they speak to elevate. And sometimes, the highest form of social intelligence is knowing when to say nothing at all. Observing, letting the moment breathe, letting others shine. It's not shyness, it's control. In settings where words are currency, silence is your credit line. It builds anticipation. It gives your words space to land. The man who knows when to speak and when to simply nod, raise his glass, and stay silent. That's the man people want to follow. Number 5. They respect dress codes, even when others don't. There's a trend where men deliberately dress down to seem humble, casual, relatable. But let's be honest, it doesn't read as humility. It reads as uncertainty. What to wear instead? Whatever the setting calls for, do it well and do it fully. Align with the dress code, even when others don't. This isn't about overdressing. It's about never underrepresenting yourself. When you show up sharp, even in a relaxed room, it sends a message. You respect the environment, you respect yourself. And here's the twist. People might tease you for being too polished, but beneath that, there's admiration. Jealousy even. Because deep down, they know you walked in like you belong. The best dressed man in the room isn't trying too hard. He just understands the assignment. It's not about being flashy. It's about looking like you put thought into your presence. That's never out of style. Number 6, they give their full name with a firm, measured handshake. You've met him, the guy with the limp handshake and half-mumbled name. It feels awkward, forgettable, like he's already apologizing for taking up space. What to do instead? Give your full name, clearly and calmly. Pair it with a handshake that's firm, but not a grip contest. And hold eye contact just long enough to be felt. This isn't about dominance. It's about presence. Your name is your calling card. Deliver it like you're proud of it, like you belong in the conversation. When you walk into a room, you're not just entering, you're making an impression. That starts before the first conversation even finishes. Elite men don't introduce themselves with hesitation. They don't shrink. They state who they are, once, with clarity. And when done right, you won't need to repeat yourself. They'll remember. Number 7. They introduce others with context, not just names. Most men saying, "This is James," is enough. It's not. That's not an introduction. It's a name drop followed by an awkward pause where everyone tries to figure out why they should care. What to say instead? "This is James. He runs one of the most efficient logistics teams I've seen." That small sentence, it does 2 things instantly. First, it gives James credibility. Second, it shows you're thoughtful and socially aware. Elite men don't just introduce people, they connect dots. They make it easier for others to talk, collaborate, and respect each other from the jump. Context is currency. When you give someone a reason to engage, you set the tone of the room. You show leadership, even if you're not the loudest voice. Never let someone walk into a room and feel invisible. Never let your introduction fall flat. Introduce with intention, with context, and with class. Number 8. They avoid correcting others in public, unless absolutely needed. Some men treat conversations like tennis matches. They wait for an error and immediately fire back a correction. But here's the thing. Winning the point often means losing the person. What to do instead? Unless it's urgent or harmful, let it go, or address it privately later. Correcting someone in public feels like a power play, even if it's not. It makes people defensive. It shifts the vibe. Elite men value harmony over ego. They pick the right time to say the right thing. Sometimes keeping quiet isn't weakness, it's wisdom. The man who controls his urge to be right earns more trust than the man who always is. Number 9. They follow up with a message after a first meeting. Most men treat handshakes like finish lines. You meet someone, chat, then walk away, and that's it. What to do instead? Send a short message after the first meeting, a quick note of thanks, a reference to what you talked about. Just enough to show presence of mind. That tiny gesture, it builds trust, it deepens recall, it turns a one-off moment into a solid connection. In powerful circles, the follow-up is the real handshake. It's what separates forgettable from memorable. It shows you weren't just there, you were paying attention, that you care enough to maintain the thread. And the best part, it takes less than a minute, but it pays dividends for years. Number 10, they don't overshare. Mystery elevates perception. Some men think being open means saying everything. They'll share their relationship issues, business frustrations, old college stories, and 5 minutes later, the room knows more about them than their therapist does. What to do instead? Speak with intention. Say less. The man who doesn't overshare forces others to pay attention. People lean in when there's mystery. When you don't reveal everything, you become more intriguing. Let them ask questions. Let them wonder. Mystery isn't about being secretive, it's about being selective. Elite men don't flood the room with noise. They curate their words like they curate their wardrobe, intentionally with discipline. And remember, oversharing feels good in the moment, but often sounds sloppy in hindsight. Number 11, they leave with poise. Never in a rush, always with grace. You've seen it. That guy who bolts from the event like he's dodging a parking ticket. No goodbyes, no thanks, just gone. Most men exit like the party's on fire, and in doing so, they burn the impression they worked so hard to build. What to do instead? Leave with purpose. A handshake, a nod, a few sincere words to the host. You don't just disappear, you conclude. Elite men don't just show up well, they leave well. The exit is your final scene. Make it clean, composed, and memorable. Because long after your face fades, people will remember how you made your exit feel. Before we get into the final bonus point, remember, these aren't just etiquette rules. They're power moves. Mastery of these details doesn't just elevate how others see you, it transforms how you see yourself. And if you're wondering where to start, we've dropped some helpful links in the description below. Everything mentioned in this video is listed there for your convenience. No pressure, just value. Now, if you've watched this far, type leveled up in the comments so we know you're one of the real ones. You're not just a viewer, you're part of the GQ Vibes community. Here's something special just for you. Bonus point, they lead without needing to be seen leading, presence over performance. Most men want recognition. They lead loudly, dropping titles, making announcements, needing applause to feel seen. But that kind of leadership burns fast and fades faster. What to do instead? Lead quietly. Let your consistency speak louder than any performance. Real power isn't loud, it's calm. When people feel safer, sharper, and more stable around you without you saying a word, that's leadership. Elite men don't compete for attention. They set the tone just by how they move, decide, and show up. Think of it like water shaping stone. Subtle, slow, but impossible to resist. And here's the beauty of it. When people begin to trust your presence, they start respecting your absence. They follow not because you told them to, but because your example left a blueprint. Let's quickly run through everything we covered. Let others speak first. Control your tone. Stay off your phone. Toast with purpose. Respect dress codes. Full name, firm handshake. Introduce with context. Don't correct in public. Follow up after meetings. Don't overshare. Leave with grace. Bonus. Lead without noise. These aren't just habits, they're signals. Refined behavior that builds trust, power, and timeless appeal. If this video added any value to your life, even just 1 point, please like it to support our growth and boost its reach on YouTube. Subscribe to GQ Vibes for more daily insights like this, where we decode everything from personal style to self-respect. And if you know a friend, colleague, or relative who's working to level up in life, share this video with them. Help someone else grow too. Thanks for watching. We've recommended another powerful video right here on your screen that's perfectly tailored to your next step. Click it now, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.